I'm gonna preface this by saying being lean is hard. But after hearing some of you guys' stories and the way you're treated, and remember how I was treated when I was skinny and when I was fat, I would definitely pick lean over anything. And nothing, no food that you can eat tastes better than being lean feels. Period. All right. Like literally hearing some of you guys' stories and what you guys are going through, what you guys deal with, or even have like the stuff that you guys deal with, I haven't dealt with like in years. You know what I mean? Ever since I've been lean, I haven't dealt with it. So like a lot of the situations you guys deal with, like, yo, like should I get this chick on like a second date? Like she's losing interest. I don't fucking even know what that means. My homeboys don't know what that means. My brothers don't know what that shit means. That shit doesn't exist. All right. Generally, when you're lean and you have your shit together, I'm not gonna say, yo, you're the prize, but you are the fucking prize because you're rare. All right. The problem is the average dude is out of shape and he's the one that's like he's the one saying, "Oh, I'm the prize." It's like, no, you're not, bro. You make, you might make okay money or whatever, but you're like out of shape. You're just a regular dude. All right. When you're in shape, you're in that. When you're in shape and you're natty, you're in that top percentage. Period. It is what it is. Now, like I always say, it's not for you if you can't delay gratification. One of the most basic fucking things you could do. If you're not willing to commit for 6 months, very short period of time. It takes you guys years to get fat, and you guys are scared of committing 6 months, which is fucking weird to me. All right, for full excuses, and you do these goofy ass fat diets. Now, you have to look at why people are losing fat if they're doing intermittent fasting or keto, or why they're losing weight. Why they're losing weight? They're in a calorie deficit for the first time in their fucking lives. They literally eat like a fat ass all the time, and then they intermittent fast, so they eat a little bit less. If they were just to eat a little bit less without fasting, they would still lose the same amount. If they were to eat a little bit less instead of doing keto, they would still lose fat. It's very simple shit. It's not rocket science. A lot of people are really, really just anyone when people say that shit, I'm like, yeah, you're probably just retarded. Like literally. Because if you eat less calories, you lose fat. You don't have to start a specific fat diet. Literally just cut out the fast food meal that you're eating that has 2,000 calories. You cut that out and you replace it with a meal that has 1,000 calories, you just cut 1,000 calories. That's all you guys have to do, and you guys all do complicated shit. People are eating Popeyes, muffins, Pop Tarts daily, like that, and ice cream daily. That's what people are eating daily. You cut those things out and you replace them. Instead of ice cream, have some Halo Top. All right. Instead of the cookies, have a protein bar. Instead of the fried foods, bake your foods. Boom, you're lean just off of that because you decreased the calories, not because you did a specific fad diet. Stop being retarded, guys. Jesus Christ. All right, if you're not ready to prioritize your health, this is definitely not for you. All right, as you guys know, I'm an old head at this point. So I got 10 plus years training men, training women, seeing the same trends over and over, seeing what works, right? And as a nurse working in different nursing homes, I was able to see like, damn, like the people who take care of themselves, they're still walking, they're still good. You know what I mean? That's usually in like state-run facilities, but a lot of the rich folks who were, the kind of people who didn't really care about their health, they just kind of cared about money. They go downhill quickly. They lose, their memory quickly because they didn't take care of their health. And it's really sad to see, but it just gave me another eye-opening experience. Like, yo, most important thing you have is your health. Same thing with the hospital. You'll see some younger dudes in there with like type 2 and all this other stuff, and then it just leads into kidney issues, and then they have a lot of visceral fat, so then they have high cholesterol, so they're just on medications, and they're so deep into the medication regimen that that's like they're dependent on it, and that's what they believe. So just seeing their mindsets like that was like, yo, I gotta focus on Eastern medicine and really lock the fuck in because I don't want to be, 30, 35 and on, 10 different medications and, have 15 years of taking it. So I think this is what I have to do for the rest of my life. Like I want to be proactive and get ahead of it. Because when you're overweight, when you have excess fat, nothing good happens. Your health will decline. There is no benefits to having excess fat. All right. I've also seen a lot of dudes get lean, and then they're like, "Oh my god, like I'm attracting all these bad bitches. What's going on?" That's what happens when you get lean, bro. People are showing me so much respect. What's going on? That's what happens when you get lean. Yo, my wife is interested in me again. Like, yo, she's all over me. That's what happens when you get lean. Yo, my ex girlfriend tried to spin the block, bro, but I got a better bitch now, bro. I don't even know, bro. I'm just smashing my ex on the side now because that's what happens when you get lean, bro. I just got this promotion at work, like out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on. That's what happens when you show discipline. You get lean. All right, very very simple. The basic truth, guys. I'm gonna keep repeating this. Excess fat is going to lead to you releasing more estrogen. You're going to be more feminine. You have extra fat, you're 20% body fat, 25% body fat, you're going to have more estrogen than someone who has 10 to 12% body fat. Oh, you can't be 10 to 12% body fat. You can't because you lack the discipline and you don't want to. All right. You can literally do whatever you put your standards to. If you want to be 8% body fat year round, Just put your standards there and you'll be there. If you want to be 12% year round, put your standards there and be there. If you're 25% year round, it's because that's where your standards are. It's not that deep. Now, visceral fat is going to suffocate your organs. That's what's going to cause that insulin resistance, and that's what's going to cause the health issues. It's going to be around your heart, which is going to increase your stroke risk and your heart attack risk. All right, your fat doesn't just sit; it's literally actively working against you. So you guys who are being like not being proactive, and you guys are like, oh, I'm fine, I don't have insulin resistance. You're lying. I'm 40% body fat. I don't have insulin resistance. The fat is building. It takes time, but once you get that insulin resistance, literally right after is going to be type 2 diabetes. Right after is going to be high cholesterol. Right after is going to be a stroke, heart attack. All right? It's compounding. Testosterone suppression. Lean men are going to have higher testosterone. They're going to have more confidence. They're going to have better performance. Like I always say, not that deep. And overweight men, they're going to have lower libido, low drive, muscle loss, all that shit. All right? Studies also show that every 1 point increase in BMI drops your testosterone. All right? So every pound, every extra amount of fat, every point in BMI is literally going to drop your testosterone. So that's why you see, the fat dudes, they're not ambitious, they're low confident because they have low testosterone. So if you're overweight, that's the quickest sign of like low test. That's why chicks like lean dudes and they see an overweight dude, they're like, because that's an easy sign of low test. Now I know someone's gonna come on the comments and be like, oh my god, I'm overweight and I pull. You don't have a profile picture. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to, the exceptions don't make the rule, but I'm also y'all niggas be lying for no reason. Like, listen, you better have a fucking profile picture if you comment some shit. All right, simple. Fat is gonna kill testosterone, guys. Just remember that. Remember that when you're picking up that cookie, just remember I said fat kills testosterone. Just remember that shit. Now, this is what y'all be looking like. Let's keep it a bean. So if you're 25% body fat plus, realistically 20% body fat plus, your test is gonna be lower. You're gonna have higher insulin resistance. You're gonna have inflammation. You're gonna have leptin resistance, which is gonna make you eat even more. All right. You're gonna have more estrogen, which means you're gonna be a bitch, a female. All right. You're gonna have thicker hips and a big lower chest. Right. So you're gonna have titties and hips. You're gonna be built like a bad bitch, bro. All right. So your estrogen is gonna exert more relative to your testosterone. You're gonna have more estrogen compared to testosterone and compared to someone who's 10% body fat, all right, 10 to 15% realistically. So yeah, your body composition is going to be absolutely cooked. You're going to have stretch marks. You're going to look like this. And, like I said, you're going to be built like a bad bitch. All right, being 10 to 12%, you're typically going to have higher testosterone. Now, when you first get down to 10%, people who are like, oh my God, I can't maintain it. I don't know what you guys are doing or where your mind is. If you get down to 10%, 8%, what is your next step? Your next step is to maintain or main gain, which means you go to your new maintenance. What the fuck else are you supposed to do? Like, what you think if you get to 10% and you're like, okay, this is my goal. I'm here. Let me maintain. But you still eat in a deficit. Like that just doesn't make any fucking sense. Eat at maintenance, and then all those extra fats and calories, your test is going to go back up. All right. But while you're getting lean, yes, you're going to be in a deficit. Yes, you're going to be putting your body under stress. That's normal. All right. Just like when you're in a surplus, you're putting your body under stress. Anyways, your insulin sensitivity is going to be improved, which is like I told you guys, why I could eat, cookies and shit and I'll be fine. Lifting heavy, I have decent amount of muscle mass, and my insulin sensitivity is good, so I could eat fucking 10 cookies. I could eat 10 cookies a day or some shit like that, and I'll be fine. All right. Simple. Cortisol is going to be lower. Inflammation is going to be down. You're going to have better testosterone production. Estrogen is going to be lower. And you're going to have higher libido, more energy, obviously more muscle gain and fat loss. That's going to be easier. But your mental sharpness is one of those things that is underrated. Like your mental clarity when you get leaner is this next level. It's fucking next level. And you don't really know how foggy and how like how like cloudy your mindset is until you get leaner. You're like, damn, I don't know how I survived this long, being 25% plus body fat. All right, energy and longevity. So, if you're carrying 30 plus pounds of fat, it's like wearing a fucking weighted vest. All right, you're gonna have fatigue, joint pain, sluggishness, all that shit. So, everyone who has fatigue, knee pain, and all that shit, and you're overweight, it's because you're overweight. Simple. And your muscle mass is probably too low. Simple. Fat men waddle around. All right. So, the thing is, when you see, I know all of you guys have seen it. Some of you guys have said it in like the lives and stuff like that, or in the comment section. But you've seen like a lean motherfucker walk into the gym, and you know how different it is. Because a lot of the times in a lot of gyms, if it's not steroid users, then everyone else is kind of out of shape or kind of regular, and they kind of waddle around. But like when you see a lean motherfucker walk into the gym on their purpose and shit like that, that shit's inspiring, and they got a different kind of energy and aura. All right. Your confidence and perception. Now, even though you guys don't want to admit it, and even though you guys are like, no body positivity, no, people don't care, oh, dad bods, all that goofy shit. All right, that is shit that's like on social media. It's not in real life though, because in real life, society is gonna judge you based on your physique. Period. All right, period. They just can't help it. If you walk around, even if you walk around in the gym shirtless, like you got a good pump and you're walking around shirtless, chicks are gonna be staring at you, pointing at you with their friends and shit. Dudes are gonna be asking you questions because this shit's rare, and they're gonna know that shit. They're gonna be like, yo, that has to be somebody, because the only lean people they see are athletes and celebrities. All right, the regular average person is 28% body fat, working a regular 9 to 5 or some shit like that, not getting haircut. So if you look lean, you got a haircut, you look well put together, your shoulder waist ratio is good, people are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? And women are gonna be like, yo, like he does it for me. All right, it's natural instincts. You guys could keep trying to go against biology, but it is what it is. All right, so it is what it is. Money just can't replace the genuine desire. Now, if you want to use, like I said, a lot of you guys want to do the pay for play shit, go ahead and do it. But like I said, the genuine desire shit is not gonna be the same. All right. Now, the harsh reality: fat men can't keep commitments to themselves. They can't confide in themselves. They don't have confidence. They're gonna have worse relationships, and they're gonna have weaker careers. All right. Now, I know a lot of you guys have said things like, "Well, like, I don't want a woman who wants me for my body, anyways." If a woman is not attracted to you physically, then and you guys are together, she's going to be stepping out, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about? Because if you have money and a good personality, if you add your physique on top of that, then the woman you attract will have genuine desire, and the relationship will just be easier. Because anyone who's in a relationship right now, they can't tell me that if they got in better shape, the relationship would get worse. It just wouldn't. It would literally just get better. All right. A lot of disrespect and shit that you deal with is because of the habits that you have to be out of shape. Like when you're out of shape, you do sit around a lot. You do eat a lot of shit. And you look uninspiring, and you have more estrogen. So the woman's gonna be like, ugh, something doesn't feel right. I don't know. I don't like seeing him just sit around. Like you're gonna lack that masculine energy and that edge and that ambition and that drive. It's just not gonna turn around because masculinity and femininity, they're opposites. They go together. All right. But when you're out of shape, high body fat percentage, and you're dating a chick, it's basically like there's two bitches in the house. All right, that's simple. So listen, the world doesn't give a fuck about your excuses, only your results. So lock the fuck in. Now, the basic shit of how to get lean. It's not rocket science. Notice how there's no fad diets here or anything crazy. Literally, just track your calories and stop eating shit. That is probably the biggest portion of it. That's 80%. Strength train 4 to 5 times a week. All right. Do some cardio if you want to. You don't really fucking have to. Sleep 7 to 9 hours, and that's it. That's it. Now, you might say that's it. No, I need more than that. No, it got to be something else. But you don't even do any of these things. Like most people who say got to be something else. Nah, bro. Like do I have to download the app? Like, nah, bro. What's this? What's that? Like, should I go low carb? Bro, track your calories, eat in a deficit. Strength train 4 to 5 times a week. Get sleep. You guys don't even do this shit. All right. Some people don't get sleep because they're playing Skyrim or they're trying to beat the last level or they're beating the meat. Some people don't track calories because they never downloaded the app and they don't want to hold themselves accountable. People don't strength train because they don't have a gym membership. Simple shit. Now, link is in the description for programs to get lean, one-on-one coaching. If you're serious, serious inquiries only. None of that goofy shit.